everybody, welcome back to the Dex, where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Pokekells. And this is Fisherman Alex. Today we are going to be covering one of the doofiest, most oblivious Pokemon.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dex, where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Fisherman Alex. I'm Pokekells.
Wow, okay. It's Slowbro, we're doing Slowbro.
So what the heck is a Slowbro supposed to be anyway? A bright pink half hippo, half otter? What about that mean looking conch shell on its tail? What about its jolly vacant expression it's had since Gen 1? And why is its ultimate form just it getting swallowed by the conch? And I guess we'll call it the hermit crab Pokemon, cause like, why not, right?
Yep, Slowbro's a true weirdo, but it actually all starts with its pre-evolution Slowpoke, whose tail is said to secrete a sweet sap that isn't so much nutritious as it is mind-blowingly delicious, which is why Slowpoke tails, no space needed, are eaten on the reg by humans. Still, it does seem to carry the stigma of real-world foods like foie gras and veal, which are also insanely delicious, but somewhat controversial due to the way the animals those foods come from are treated while they are alive.
Pokemon seems to be reclaiming the idea of Slowpoke tails though, because when we first heard of people eating them, it was Team Rocket stealing and cutting off the tails in Azalea Town, and it was kind of a shady situation. But in Alola, not only do they confirm the tails grow back, but there's also a customary dish where the tails are dried and simmered into a salty stew, a reference to a traditional island oxtail stew, which is rich and delicious and not controversial at all. Just good.
Point is, Slowpoke knows its tail is well liked, and it uses it as bait in its hunt for food. However, sometimes a Shelder is there lurking in the shadows, and Shelder go absolutely crazy for that sweet tail sap, which is described as more sweet, salty, and crunchy, which I imagine tastes a lot like a nice glazed roasted honey ham. In fact, it tastes so good that once a Shelder bites, it never lets go, Jack, and both Pokemon immediately evolve into one big dopey Slowbro.
With Shelder on its tail, Slowbro now has to swim to get its food, and whenever the Shelder bites down and injects its toxins, Slowbro just gets that much smarter and more powerful. Its body even gets completely consumed during Mega Evolution, and though it definitely finds it surprising, as you can see by the pictures, it usually just rolls with it since it pops right back out once Mega Evolution is over.
And speaking of popping right back out, another weird thing about Slowbro is that it can potentially de-evolve. According to the Pokedex, the Shelder can just come right off, and if it does, it's back to just being a regular Slowpoke again. Isn't that so bizarre? I think it is.
So what does this say about the nature of Shelder and Slowpoke's relationship, and why does Shelder look different when it's attached to a Slowpoke? Don't worry, we're just about to tell you in this week's Good Pokemon Science.
So what does this say about the nature of Shelder and Slowpoke's relationship, and why does Shelder look different when it's attached to a Slowpoke?
I get it, is this because I was doing this before?
Don't worry, we're just about to tell you in this week's Good Pokemon Science. Annoying, right?
Right. So this week, let's start with the clue found in Slowpoke's Japanese name, Yadoran. Yado is a prefix that appears across the entire Slowpoke line, just like slow does in English. But Yado refers to Yadonushi, which doesn't translate to slow, but rather host, as in a parasite-host relationship, which is actually great, because that makes the whole situation into some damn good science.
Yep, and as we all know, a parasite is an organism that lives in or on another organism and benefits by depriving nutrients at the host's expense. You could even call Slowbro a definitive host, because if it doesn't evolve into a cloister, Shelder can't reach its last stage of maturity as Big Mean Conch Dude without it. And I mean, the science is good.
This is just like the real-life canine tapeworm. Tapeworm eggs are eaten by fleas, which is where they stay forever unless the dog swallows a flea. Only then, when it's reached its definitive host, can it grow to adulthood and steal your poor dog's nutrients. Guys, put flea control on your dogs, okay? The science actually checks out.
Yeah, plus the idea of Shelder injecting toxins into Slowbro is a very parasite thing to do. Like, it's so parasite. Like when ticks are sucking your dog's blood, they use a potent anti-inflammatory and anticoagulant in their saliva to avoid discomfort in their host, which is kind of nice of them, but also totally for their own gain, so really, really creepy. But you know what isn't creepy? The science, baby, because it's good.
And you can totally see it in Slowbro's Pokedex entries, which say that the Shelder's toxins numb the pain of its bite so that Slowbro doesn't really notice it. And the side effect of it getting smarter? That might just be so it's easier for Slowbro to avoid predators and keep the big mean Shelder safe. Talk about self-preservation, yo. Talking about good science.
Yep, and to bring it all home, that also explains all that de-evolution hoo-ha. See, parasites, they come and go, and once you're parasite-free, you can just go back to being your old, good old fine feeling self. I mean, come on, bros, if Slowpoke isn't the poster child of contentedness, that isn't good science, and we all know that that's some bullcrap, right? Yeah? Oh yeah? 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 Oh yeah, it is.
Crazy, right?
Right.
So what does this say about the nature of Shelter and Slowpoke's relationship? And why does Shelter look different when it's attached to a Slowpoke?
Are we really doing this again? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some Gen 7 battle strategy.
Don't worry, we're just about to tell you in this week's Good Pokemon Science! Pokemon. Trick Room teams are back in a big way in the early VGC 2017 meta, and Slowbro's been an absolute mainstay on this type of team for years because it's so bulky, it has Regenerator, and its typing is so dang good. Start with a bold one and super train it in HP and defense.
Toss a Citrus Berry on this thing so you can take a hit first turn, set up Trick Room, and get a little health back on the deal. That usually leaves you in pretty good shape, but if you need to, don't be afraid to switch out because you'll be able to get 30% more of that HP back with Regenerator. Hot stuff, right? Plus now, all your slow guys are now really fast, so it's really popping off now.
And speaking of hot stuff that's really popping off, the absolute best move a Slowbro can have in its arsenal is Skull. Not only is it a high-powered stat move that can truly cause some damage, it also has a 30% chance to burn, which really forces your opponent to think twice before taking one across the chin. Use it confidently and often. It's just one of those perfect Pokemon move combos.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the bread and butter of this set, but if you really want to get in there, Psyshock is a great move to pull out of your sleeve for dealing with those pesky special walls that we're seeing so much of in Gen 7 right now. Oh, and since you're friggin' Slowbro, if you ever feel weak, don't forget to slack off. Keeps that health up, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
And that's that. Of course, that's not the only way to train a Slowbro though, so here are a few.
Slowbro pairs really well with the top blue Lele switch-in because it's common fake-out fodder, and he gets that great 1.5 Psychic boost from Lele's Psychic Surge ability. Also, if you really want to get crazy, put both Psychic and Psyshock for when Lele's on this field, and suddenly your opponents are in a lot of gosh darn trouble, no matter who they are.
Slowbro's always been a great Ice Beam user too, and it's never a bad idea to run it just in case. Sure, it's not that great of a coverage move in this meta, but there sure are a lot of Garchomp, Salamence, and Executor out there these days, so, you know, take advantage of it. Get them. Take them out.
And finally, if you'd rather control speed another way, Slowbro also has access to and makes great use of Thunder Wave for the same reason it can set up Trick Room. It can almost definitely take the hit to do it, and it's super easy to get your health back.
And that's it! Slowbro, the hermit crab Pokemon.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dex where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Pokekel.
Oh, stop it, and I'm Alex. Click the thingies on the sides for Dex videos related to Slowbro, or check the description for a link to the Dex Research Institute Discord where you can hang out in a chill environment with like-minded Pokemon fans and even contribute to Kels and I's research.
It's gonna be great. Tune in next week for another Imperial episode of The Dex.